So here's what's circulating right now. Blueface says he's done with Hazel-E, and he's pinning the breakup on what he calls her social media addiction. That's a charged phrase, and it's already fueling a lot of takes. Tonight, I'm going to break down what that claim actually means, why celebrity relationships so often collapse under the weight of online attention, how to separate a public narrative from private reality, and what to watch for next before anyone plants a flag on who's right and who's wrong. First, the frame. When a breakup hits the internet, the timeline gets messy fast. One side posts a clip, the other side reposts a screenshot, a friend goes live, a cousin comments underneath a blog page, and suddenly there are 10 versions of the same 10 seconds. In that chaos, the loudest line always wins the first hour. Right now, that line is social media addiction. It's simple, it's sticky, and it shifts blame to a thing all of us can point to, the phone in your hand. But words like addiction carry real weight. They turn a relationship dispute into a diagnosis, and that's where we have to slow down and parse what's actually being said. When an artist says, "I broke up with her because she's addicted to social media," there are at least three layers to hear. One is the literal. Too much time online was a problem. Another is the relational. Attention, validation, and outside opinions started driving decisions inside the relationship. And the third is strategic. Framing the breakup as her issue can make him look decisive and self-protective, which plays well to a certain audience. All three can be true at once. What we can't do is mistake a public caption for a clinical assessment. We're not in their house. We don't know what conversations they had when the camera was off. Let's talk about why social media becomes the third person in celebrity relationships. The business model of fame in 2025 is a feedback loop. Platforms reward posting frequency, emotional intensity, and high contrast narratives. If you're calm and private, the algorithm yawns. If you're dramatic and constant, it claps. That pressure can turn normal couple problems into content. You're no longer arguing about plans. You're arguing about posts, likes, brand deals, who gets to tell the story first, and whether the comment section is now a courtroom. If one partner lives online to maintain momentum and the other wants to pull back, the gap widens until something breaks. Now, put that in the Blueface universe. He's an artist who has lived in the public square for a long time. He knows how attention works, and he knows how to weaponize it. If he now says social media is the reason for a breakup, that line does double duty. It critiques her behavior, and it also repositions him as the "I'm over the drama" guy. But ask yourself, is he logging off? Is he refusing to address it? If the answer is no, then this is less about abstaining from the machine and more about controlling the story the machine tells. That's not hypocrisy. That's the modern playbook. On Hazel-E's side, the incentives are different, but just as strong. If you're a public figure, your engagement rate, your impressions, your click-throughs, those are business metrics. They affect collaborations, appearances, and checks. Being silent when your name is trending feels like leaving money on the table. So you post to clarify, to defend, to correct, to clap back, to be heard. And every post that protects you also risks keeping the fire hot another day. It's an impossible balance. Personal dignity versus public narrative, and both carry a cost. Let's talk about boundaries, because that's the heart of most breakup stories we cover. Healthy boundaries sound boring. What's private stays private, what's public is agreed on, and what gets posted while emotions are high is nothing. But in practice, boundaries get blurry when your phone is a studio, a diary, a megaphone, and a marketplace all at once. If Blueface wanted fewer posts and Hazel-E wanted more, the disagreement isn't just taste, it's identity and income. It's how each person feels seen and how each person pays the bills. That's not solved in a comment section. Here's the part that matters for anyone following along. Watch behavior over language. If social media truly was the deal breaker, you'll see distance, less live streaming of personal situations, fewer subtweets, a shift toward music and business updates, and a refusal to escalate when provoked. If instead the posting ramps up with more mutual jabs, then the phrase social media addiction was a headline, not a boundary. When people really want out, they step out. When people want to win the internet, they lean in. There's a bigger cultural piece here too. We love to moralize other people's timelines. She posts too much. He's doing it for clout. But the reality is more complicated. A lot of folks are negotiating with the same forces in smaller ways. Constant notifications, validation loops, doom scrolls, late night spirals. The difference is scale. When celebrities stumble, there's an audience and a profit motive attached to every stumble. So yes, it's fair to ask whether social media was unhealthy in this relationship. It's also fair to ask whether we, the audience, are part of what makes it hard to stop. What should you watch for next if you care about facts instead of noise? First, whether either side offers a calm, consistent timeline without bombshells and without unnamed sources. Second, whether there are specific claims about actions, missed commitments, broken agreements, privacy lines crossed, rather than sweeping labels. Third, whether they move on to their work. New music, booked shows, brand projects. These are the first real signs that a breakup narrative isn't going to consume the next 6 months. Finally, watch for the apology economy. If either side posts a late night note about, "I shouldn't have said that," that's a signal the heat got too high and boundaries will tighten. I want to add something that doesn't go viral but needs to be said. Real relationships deserve grace. Even when they're messy, even when the people in them are famous, there's still people trying to figure it out in a world built to monetize missteps. We can be curious without being cruel. We can watch without cheering for pain. And we can remember that a sentence like social media addiction ended my relationship is not a punchline. It's a warning about a tool that can turn on anyone who thinks they control it. So where do I land? If Blueface believes the online cycle corroded his relationship, backing away from that cycle will tell us more than any caption. If Hazel-E believes her side is being flattened into a soundbite, a clear, measured message posted once and left to stand will keep her dignity intact and keep business moving. For the rest of us, the smartest move is to let the next action speak. Over the next week or two, the pattern will show you who is healing, who is hustling, and who is still fighting the algorithm. That's the breakdown. If you've been in a situation where the phone started running the relationship instead of the other way around, you already know how this can go. Boundaries are boring until they save you. Privacy is corny until it protects you. And the difference between a breakup and a viral feud is often as simple as closing an app and walking away. Thank you for watching and for choosing context over chaos. If you want more straight talk with zero fluff, like this video, drop your thoughts respectfully in the comments and subscribe to the Short Clips Podcast. I appreciate you for tapping in, and I'll see you on the next one.